And we're back, the Dudes of Horror. I'm Toots.
Damien.
And Wormboy, guys. What's up?
And we just came back from watching Hereditary, which I have to say it was really good.
Yeah.
Like, it was very, very creepy.
Yes, it was.
What did you guys think of it?
Well, I think it was awesome. I mean, it's a really good movie. I think it kept me like involved into the movie. And that's because I was tired.
Yeah.
Like I didn't fall asleep at all. I enjoyed it.
My wife keeps trying to make us laugh.
But I think the story was pretty good. The acting was good, and it's just the creepiness out of it. I think was really kind of bugged me. You know, I was like, oh, some parts were just like,
but in a good way. Like it made you squeamish.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word. But
yeah, like it built up. It built up pretty good. It wasn't just in your face. Like it slowly built up the tension and slowly built it all up.
Yeah.
And then just with this climax at the end.
Oh yeah. And I know what you mean by that, Toots, but don't be gross. But no,
it was explosive, yeah.
Because like
the climax was explosive.
The story itself, like for me, I finally started making sense towards the end because that's when they explained most of it. Yeah. And I was like, oh, like I felt all stupid, and I tried to retrace back the first part of the movie. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense, and that makes sense.
So before we continue, let's just say that at this point, we're just gonna go into spoilers.
Well, I haven't said what I thought yet.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
No, it was like a very intense movie. Mm-hmm. And like I was telling you when we walked out of the theater, like a lot of especially like the opening shots, I was like, that's like Stanley Kubrick. Mm-hmm. Those like slow panning shots in and out, or like slowly side to side. Like I was like, I saw a lot of Martin Scorsese style filmmaking. Like that's the scene at the very beginning where it like slowly pans in the window from the little girl's clubhouse, from Charlie's clubhouse. Yeah, I was like, that's all Stanley Kubrick. And then when it like slowly started panning around the room, revealing like the Toni Collette's character's little dollhouses and stuff. Yeah, it made me think of the scene at the end of Taxi Driver, the Martin Scorsese movie, where they're panning around after he goes in and like blows away all the pimps and stuff. Yeah. I was just like, good camera work. Yeah. And I don't think there was like some comic relief in the movie.
Very little.
But it was I don't think what we laughed at, I don't think it was meant to be funny.
No, I don't think it was meant to be funny, but it was funny. Do you want to say what it was, Damien?
Like, yeah, at this point we're gonna get into spoilers, so
was it the part where the headless, I call it the headless horseman going up the stairs?
Oh, is that what you're talking about? Oh, floating up like that?
Oh, that was the very end of the movie.
Or not that one. You're talking about
something one else? Of them. That was the one where everybody in the theater laughed.
I was laughing.
Yeah, it looked weird. It looked ridiculous.
Excuse me.
Like,
but I don't think it damaged the movie.
No.
Because everything else was good. I was like, really? Did they really have to do that?
I think there were a couple moments that were meant to be not like funny, but at least just to kind of relieve the tension, like little bits of comedy relief. You know,
which part?
Like for instance, during the scene where she's at the meeting and she's just venting. And then afterwards, everybody's just kind of looking at her like, whoa.
And they just like and there's another where you can talk about the camera work, because like the whole time she's venting, the camera's slowly panning in on her, like getting closer and closer and closer. Yeah. And then once it gets right up to her, it just cuts instantly to all the people looking at her, and you see it like from her POV, and they're all just staring. Like even the guy that's running like the little therapy session, he's like he has no idea what to say. He's like, wow, I've heard a lot of shit here, but I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, because it would have been funny if somebody was like, that's fucked up. You know, like.
And then I think that's what some of the audience members were saying. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
But, I mean, the story itself is really good. Like, it really got me thinking a lot.
I saw a lot of parallels, like what we both were like, Rosemary's Baby at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I was just especially at the end.
Like all the old people, hail Satan from Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen that movie. So.
And they were even saying like, hail Salmon, or what was the...
Salmon?
No, what was the demon's name?
Fish.
Panama? I don't know.
It was something with a P.
Oh.
Phoebe or some shit.
It was one of the 8 kings of hell. That's what they said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I think the part that really started, like, really freaked me out, the first part, when the kid was going to the party and then driving back home because she's having a what's it called?
She was having a.
Well, he was trying to drive her to the hospital.
She was getting into.
Because she ate nuts in the cake.
Yeah, she had an allergic reaction and she couldn't breathe.
She was going into anaphylactic shock.
And then I thought she was just gonna like roll out the car window or out the car door, and then out of nowhere, like poof, like, and I was like, what the fuck? Well, that caught me off guard.
After we saw the whole movie, I was wondering if the supernatural forces that the cult had conjured up, or if the cult members themselves had like put whatever was there in the roadkill in the road to make him swerve.
To make him do that, probably. That makes sense.
But I don't know, because it's not like they could have known that the girl would have stuck her head out the window.
Yeah,
so that Charlie would have.
But maybe they still would have put that roadkill there to try to kill the girl or Charlie. I mean, or what's his name?
You know the funny thing is that whole thing would have been avoided if he would have just called 911 and then just had an ambulance come and pick her up. Like, that whole thing would have been avoided.
But
remember, he was high. He was doing drugs, so maybe he wasn't making the best decisions.
Oh no, most of the decisions he did were pretty bad. Yeah,
and then when he got home, he didn't even say anything until the mom in the morning. She screamed.
The way that this was my impression in when Peter was just well, of course he was traumatized because Charlie's head just came off, thanks to the pole, and like the way he just went straight to bed afterwards, because he was in shock, and it almost seemed like, shouldn't he tell somebody right now? Like, shouldn't he be like, hey, help me, this happened, but to me it was almost like, and I hate to put it this way, but it's like if somebody threw up in the car and he didn't tell anybody until finally the next day, somebody walks in. Yeah, they find out. Like, what the hell?
And I think it also had to do not only with the trauma, probably he was just scared to tell them, I'm in trouble because I wasn't supposed to be doing this.
Mm-hmm. That's what I like about these independent horror movies, is because there's this realism to them.
Yeah.
That's
actually something that was probably
that you don't typically see in the studio horror films. Yeah. Like his reaction to that, how he actually just sat there just in shock in the car after it happened, and he's actually he wants to look in the rearview mirror, but then he doesn't, and he actually it seemed like the way the actor did it, the actor that was playing Peter, he involuntarily was muttered are you okay? And he stopped. He was gonna say, are you okay? And then he stopped, and he just sits there, and you just see the tear come down his face.
Yeah, because in
a studio movie, it would have been like what you said. He would have
said something,
panicked and ran, and something happened.
Yeah, but I'm actually kind of glad that he reacted the way he did, even just walking into the house and not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because he accidentally killed his sister. He accidentally killed Charlie, and he's like, what do I do? It's like, I'm high. This happened. It's just he's just so conflicted. It's like,
but it's almost like he didn't want to, how a teenager actually would react to that.
Yeah, a teenager.
He didn't want to face it. He's just, he knew that this is just horrific. Yeah, this is terrible. But he just came home and just went to bed.
Yeah, that's why when the whole thing went down and he stopped the car and everything, I bet you anything, the two things that went through his mind were probably, oh my God, I killed Charlie. How could I have done this? And two, my life is over now. This is it.
Pretty much.
Or so he thought.
Yeah, so he thought.
And then it's like, I like the director's choice to... They didn't show Toni Collette's character walk outside and find the decapitated body.
you just hear it.
It's just a close-up.
So much better.
It's to leave it to the audience's imagination. It's a close-up of Peter's face as he's listening to her, like, horrific screaming.
Yeah.
That was like, oh. And then that made me think, like, okay, that's the director's approach to this. And I wonder if I've never heard of this director before.
I think this is his directorial.
Aster.
I think this is his first movie, his directorial debut.
Yeah, he's a director.
Because it seemed like, okay, he's gonna go that route, and then they cut to like her bruised up, bloody head just there on the street.
Yeah, I didn't think they were gonna.
And
show
I didn't
it.
think that.
I know, like, with all the ants, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like he's gonna go that route where he leaves it to the audience's imagination, and then just boom, it just cuts to
out of
like,
nowhere.
I was like, whoa, like.
Yeah, and that's what I liked about this movie. Like, I was trying to kind of follow, because some of those movies, like you after a little bit of watching it, like, oh, you kind of can predict a little bit.
Yeah, this one I couldn't. Yeah,
this one I couldn't really gauge it. Then I guess that's why I liked it so much.
Because it gives you the impression. It's like, okay, is she really just going crazy? Yeah, and that's probably what was Hereditary. Because she does mention.
Because she mentions her family having a history of
mental illness. Yeah, so I was like, oh, this is probably just something. And then Peter, when no, she's the one that mentions, like, well, Peter's still upset with me because I would sleepwalk and and they were all covered in paint thinner,
and she was gonna burn or kill them all, I guess.
Yeah, and I remember at one point in the movie, I honestly thought they were gonna, like, oh, this is the reveal where it's flashing back and it's really her doing all these horrific things.
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but no.
I like that though. I like how it wasn't really easy to figure out. I actually didn't figure. I had no idea. Good movie,
I think, for the most part.
And I should have, because when we got to the end of the movie and they revealed that character Joni, or what was her name?
Joni, the grandma.
No, the grandma is something else.
I thought that was Joni.
No, well, Joni's the
surviving
lady.
Member the surviving member of the cult that was that was still like cursing the family but she came across as like a friend, at the AA meetings or whatever they were.
And that should have tipped us off, or that should have tipped me off.
But it didn't. The way the script is and just the directing, I guess it's like like you didn't. And then when we got to the end of the movie, it made me think of that movie, The Last Exorcism. Mm-hmm. Where there's all these seemingly good-hearted characters throughout the movie that are helping, and then it turns out at the end that they're like they have like very dark intentions, like to have the girl, give birth to that demon. Yeah. And it was like the same parallel in this movie. I was like, oh, okay, so they're okay. Yeah. And I was like, damn, I can't believe I didn't see that. Like,
I actually want to go back and watch it again.
Yeah, me too.
At least the part with the meeting, because I want to see. Yeah, I want to see if she's there. Because she's like,
I don't remember her being there.
I don't remember her being there.
No, but I was thinking when we were at the restaurant, I was thinking like, this is one of those movies like Get Out where
you have to watch it again.
No, but like it's like where upon the second viewing, it's a lot better when you know what's gonna happen. You start to notice all these little things, and you're like, damn it, I can't believe I didn't notice that. Like, I can't believe I didn't see this coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah, whenever there was a scene, especially a wide shot of a dark room, I was always kind of in the look like, okay, where is it? Where's the thing that's popping out?
The one at the end, towards the end, that one was creepy. Because I didn't notice that at first. And then I saw it in the corner, I was like, what the fuck? The one that really creeped me out was the first thing where you see the grandma. Like the mother there.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah. It's like, what? And then she turned on the light and like there's nothing there.
And there weren't, from that point on, there wasn't like another like apparition sighting or anything for like an hour or something.
Yeah. And that's what I liked about it.
And I think that was good that they did that, because I was already expecting another one right away, but it didn't happen. So I was just like, when is it gonna happen? Like, it happened already.
And the thing I really liked about this movie is the fact that they didn't have traditional jump scares. Even though like the usual jump scares where it's like in your face, but it really is something you should be afraid of. Instead,
they got me.
like this was very well paced and it was built up so well.
And I liked how they just didn't do it on focusing on the person. Sometimes it was just the music, right? That would,
the music
build up and build up and build up and build up.
Yeah, the music, and I'm sure you'll agree with me, Damien, that the music had a very 70s supernatural horror movie element to it.
Yeah.
Where it was very reminiscent of something like Rosemary's Baby.
But even the whole style of the movie did too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the camera work and the like the script too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, but I don't know. I guess the biggest comparison I can make, like that had the most parallels, was Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah.
Which was actually a 60s movie technically.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This was just like. And then I have to say, like, all the acting too in this movie was like, damn.
Yeah, and
like Toni Collette was good.
Yeah,
Alex Wolff,
she was the best.
The kid that played Peter, I thought he did really good.
Yeah, and I liked how Gabriel Byrne's character, the father, he was pretty much kind of like the straight man.
Yeah. In
this movie, where it was like he didn't know what to believe, and he's a doctor. I don't know a doctor of what.
Well, he was the one that was like skeptical throughout the whole movie.
Of he's a doctor
of anything, of any supernatural things going on.
Yeah, and he was like,
he's the voice of reason.
Yeah, he's like the voice
of this shit.
But then, if you notice, he does take pills, so maybe that's why he was so mellow and kind of the straight man, you know.
Yeah, well that and
he was just getting stressed out though with the situation, right?
Yeah, and he was.
But I didn't expect him to burn those the way he did.
See, and there were things like that.
And I was like, okay, what the hell?
Yeah.
There were things like
was he involved? You know, I was like, what the
hell?
hell?
No, but there were things like that I wanted to rewatch the movie because I didn't get. I was like it was that. Why did he burn up? And it was also like the thing with the paint thinner. Yeah. Like, why was she going to kill them in her sleep?
I think
oh, go ahead. I think it's because she knew that deep down she didn't want the kid, right?
Yeah,
so she mentions that.
That's what I was thinking.
And she hated her mom, and I'm thinking since
like
we don't really know, they don't really disclose too much about that. So in my opinion, it was more like maybe the mom was just, she already knew there was something wrong with her, maybe that evil side of her.
She was trying to sever the bloodline or something.
Yeah, and then what happened was like, well, might as well kill them to finish it, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think subconsciously she was trying to sever the whole thing.
Yeah,
and prevent all that.
See, that makes sense.
But it's good that they didn't explain it too, because it keeps you, thinking about it.
Yeah. Now you mentioned before there were some moments where like it wasn't like there were a couple of things that were funny and weren't meant to be funny.
Yeah.
And one of the things that kind of made me chuckle a little were the couple of times where Peter would cry, but he cried like a little bitch.
I thought that was just me.
And I'm not saying it in the sense of, oh well, his sister died, he's crying like a little bitch. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
no,
that
he was funny.
The way
I agree.
He cried like Stewie would cry, like like that.
I think when I laughed, Jessica was like.
Like on the surface level, like you want to laugh. Like I wanted to laugh too, but then I was thinking
but
like,
you have a soul, Damien.
No, but then I was thinking,
oh, you don't.
No, but then I was thinking like this is like a realistic horror movie.
Yeah,
and he's a teenager that's actually like terrified.
Yeah,
and he's just crying like a little boy. Like he's reduced to like a child.
Like I said, it was just like it's understandable.
Like it's a real.
He's reduced to like
a baby, like a little boy, like he's weeping, like. And then I liked that at the end of the movie when he barricades himself up in the attic.
He's saying "mommy."
He stopped saying "mom," and a couple of times he said "mama, mommy,"
like mommy.
Like he was so terrified that he's like, he's been reduced back to like a little child.
Yeah, but like I said, I was just laughing at the delivery of the.
It wasn't a good delivery.
Like I understand why he was crying, because he was getting tormented.
But I guess for me, it could have been a little bit more believable because I was laughing too.
Yeah, but I mean.
But then I understand your point too. So
yeah, it could be a whole theme where he's just
everybody. I mean, I chuckled.
Back. Yeah.
My initial reaction, I chuckled a little bit in the theater, like because it was funny, like it was.
Yeah, the kids like behind us. Like in the like yeah, they were laughing. They were just like
the one scene though that was meant to be funny was the very first time that they show Peter in his English class, and he's just kind of like staring off into space. But then they cut to his POV, and he's just staring at the girl's butt in front of him.
Yeah,
like that was meant to be funny.
Yeah,
like
see there were moments where they're just there to relieve the tension.
But there's not many of them.
And not and
very little.
And something that occurred to me right now is that the reason we kept saying like, oh, it kind of reminds us of Rosemary's Baby is because as it gets towards the end and it hits the climax and everything, and Toni Collette's character Annie gets possessed, that you start noticing these naked people.
And they're all old people.
Yeah.
And they have these creepy smiles on their face, like they're really happy about something.
Well, the first guy that appeared,
I thought he was
the
he was the one from the funeral, like smiling.
Oh no, but I see. I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, like during the funeral when people were doing the procession.
He was there.
Yeah.
When Peter first turned around.
Oh, because that's why the mom was saying like a lot of people I don't know.
He was standing in the back and
like in the doorway.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, he's smiling. Like that's weird. Yeah.
No, when honestly, like, yeah, y'all are gonna laugh. When I first saw that creepy guy just like smiling there, and I thought he was that king that was gonna possess Peter.
Oh, I thought the same thing too.
I was like, oh shit, it's the fucking the
demon
king of hell. Well, he was. What do they say? He's one of the 8 kings of hell.
One of the 8 kings of hell.
And then they showed all. And then there was that second scene where they like did the panning shot of the trees outside, and you see like 3 naked people.
Yeah.
Like 3 naked old people. I was like, oh, okay, so that wasn't the guy. That wasn't the king of hell.
Was one of the guys, the older guys, was that like one of the teachers?
The fat one, right?
Yeah, the fat one with the beard.
So.
Because
I need to go back and.
We need to rewind it.
I need to watch it again.
Because I'm sure all those naked cultists were probably like they appeared in the movie at some point. Like,
because like the one you said, I didn't even notice him. The one at the funeral.
And I found it so strange.
I didn't notice.
So yeah, maybe it was the teacher not thinking about it.
Yeah, and I found it so strange because here's this funeral, and then these people are doing a procession, and and then there's this guy in the back.
Maybe they were all
he's just
there
smiling with like eyes wide.
And maybe they were all there because they know she had passed away.
Yeah.
See, and that would make it even better. More like on the conspiracy cult level or like the paranoia level. If you see it upon the second viewing, like we were saying earlier, because then you're gonna think like all these cult members like maneuvered their way into Peter's life to keep an eye on him. Yeah. Like the bearded guy maneuvered his way into his life to become his English teacher.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
Yeah, and at the beginning, at the beginning, Charlie.
It was all part of the plan.
When she was drawing or whatever, or just messing with something at the beginning at the funeral, like, and she's the one that looks up, and then the guy's just looking at her with that smile. That's and I was like, that's creepy. That is creepy. That's weird.
But they already knew what was going on.
Yeah, and then the other moment that popped into my head right now, and I'm trying to find the significance of it, is where I don't know if you remember, like when one of the ladies puts like something on the lips of the grandmother.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know.
Maybe it
was probably just some some ritualistic thing.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because at first you'd think, oh, okay, well, they're still in mourning, and
but it looked more like a ritual.
Yeah, and I was thinking
like
something
this
like
step is done, like now we're doing the next step, whatever,
Because I thought it was something like, oh, maybe that's their, maybe a religious way of doing something, or saying goodbye, Because I was like, I've never really seen that.
That's a weird.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I've never seen that done.
Yeah, they didn't really explain that.
Yeah. So it's just little moments like that where you're kind of like, yeah, that's kind of weird.
Well, I mean, the whole like super spoiler breakdown of the movie is that you find out that like the grandma was involved in some like hell king worshipping satanic cult or something that they were gonna groom the son, her grandson, to be like the demon. What do you call king?
Because the
I forgot his name.
But like the vessel, he was gonna be the vessel for
the demon king has to be a male.
Yeah.
And and then when they found the spirit or whatever, like the demon king, like it went into Charlie.
Yeah.
And
after he died.
Yeah, and
into Charlie. That's right.
Yeah, and then the whole reason they were messing with Peter was to prep him for
right.
Yeah.
And they never revealed that till the very end. I did not see that coming at all. Like, I'm not gonna lie.
And then when he gets scared in the attic and he falls down and dies, and then that's when you see the entity get into him.
Yeah.
And then he wakes up and then he's already someone else.
But the thing is, like he clicks his tongue, which what Charlie would do.
Yeah.
That noise, and I remember some people behind us were kind of like, they were kind of like like Charlie, like they were kind of like that, and even I was kind of like, okay, well, that's kind of weird. Like Charlie's back, okay.
But it wasn't Charlie.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like that demon king, whatever, was the one that kept doing that noise. But at first you think, it's just the girl.
Yeah, but it wasn't her. It was the demon.
Yeah. And then it wasn't until the exposition at the end where Joni's explaining the whole thing.
Yeah.
It was like, okay.
Now it makes sense. Yeah. And that's why the girl was acting weird, because she was possessed from I think almost the very beginning, right?
What were those little knick-knack things that she was making all throughout the movie? Like where she got caught in class making one.
They're just toys.
Like I was like, what? I was like, do those have any significance to the plot, or are those like?
I'm not sure.
They never said, or they never explained it, or when she decapitated the little bird.
But remember the bird that might have just been how they decapitated the three what's it called? Remember the 3 heads, the demon with the 3 heads, in the book. I was thinking maybe that was just something of a
like a ritual.
Yeah, like a ritual. It has to be 3 heads, because remember
the little head shows up in
her on the table
in Joni's apartment.
It was her. It was her head, the Charlie's head, the bird's head, Peter. And then the head of the mom. Remember, she cut your head off. So those are 3 heads.
Yeah, and whenever you would see like any ritualistic thing where like Peter's picture or whatever was involved.
Creepy.
Yeah, and I kept thinking like, why are they still fucking with him? Like, he's sorry he killed Charlie.
Like, give him a break.
Like, give him a break. Let him go to jail at least, and just.
They never explain it until the end of the movie.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What's actually going on?
And that's what made it so good.
Because when you find the thing like in Joni's apartment or in the attic,
she had that picture of Peter in the middle of that triangle.
Yeah, because I kept thinking, she's fucking with him. She's cursing him, like. Cause,
well, that was the first scene that I was like, there's something going on deeper than we thought with Peter.
I honestly thought when they showed that table full of the symbols and the bird head and stuff like that, like I honestly thought that she was doing that to make Annie feel better. Like your kid's still walking out and about. Like, I'll do something for you, like doing her a favor. That's what I kept thinking.
No, but it was completely
it was
different.
Completely different. Yeah,
and then some parts that were like gave me I cringed was when she was cutting her own head off. When she was hanging, and I couldn't really tell what it was. It looked like a wire.
Yeah, it looked like a piano wire or razor wire.
She just kept on doing it, and he was just like looking, and I was like, what the hell's going on? And then she finally did it, and then he saw the 3 naked people, and that's and he goes out the window.
And
dies.
I didn't see. I need to rewatch the movie too, because I didn't see that part when Toni Collette was going through the book about the demon with the 3 heads.
Yeah, I forgot.
I don't remember that.
I didn't see it.
Remember? When she was going through her mom's things, and she opened the box, and she found that book, and she opened it, and you saw the demon with the 3 heads.
I need to look at because I was so busy trying to read all the... It was like
really quick. Like
I was so busy trying to read all the text in the book that I didn't look at the picture.
Well, the text, I didn't really see anything. It was in normal language.
And you know what creeped me out too, even though it wasn't really like creepy, was where she was going through the photo album and you start seeing like Joni, you start seeing all these people, and then you see the grandmother, like her mother, like there, and I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, like it's just, it's one of those things where you don't know what's happening.
That's where I started putting all the stuff, like putting 2 and 2 together. I was like, oh, Joni's a member of the cult.
Yeah.
And then I started thinking of like, and I know my wife had mentioned it when we walked out of the theater, and I thought of it too. It reminded me of the Marked Ones, the Paranormal Activity movie.
Oh, okay. I don't think I still haven't seen that.
Oh,
it's because they show the grandmother with the witch that lives downstairs in like in old pictures, and I was like, yeah, that's true. But like, and there's a definite parallel there. But like the biggest parallel, like I said, is Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, because like especially seeing the picture of the grandmother or I guess Queen.
Yeah, call it Queen too.
Yeah, no, the grandmother. Wearing the white dress, and I'm like, is that the dress that she's buried in? Like I remember I kept thinking that, like all these things, and I don't know. I started, I guess, kind of thinking back to a scene in Rosemary's Baby, from what I remember, where you just see the group of people, they're like very happy, like
yeah, and that's the part I was thinking. They're like, hail Satan, like it's like. That's all creepy because there's all these old people like with teacups.
It reminded me of a South Park episode. Hey, I'll say.
Oh, the what's it?
Critter.
Yeah, the Critter.
Isn't that
Critter Christmas?
Isn't that referencing Rosemary's Baby?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course the one cliche that got me was when Peter wakes up after his whole thing with hitting himself on the desk, and
that was fucked up.
Yeah, that was fucked up. And when he's just walking through the house, and I just wanted to say like, turn on some goddamn turn on some fucking lights.
And you even see the point where he kind of stops next to the fucking switch. I'm like, dude, it's right there. Just all you have to do is turn it on. Yeah. But no, suspense needs to build in the dark. Just that's how it's worked.
It's just there's never gonna be a horror movie where no matter how good the horror movie is, there's got to be a scene where somebody walks through a dark house.
Yeah.
Somebody that lives there knows where the light switches are.
And I feel bad for the dad also, because he was just like trying to do his best, but all this shit just happened.
He was just a pawn in this bigger universe going on around him.
Yeah.
Like, you were just there to make the babies.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And now we don't need you. That's why we burned you. But no, I think it's a good movie. You guys should go check it out for real.
Yes, this is
it's recommended. You pay the full price. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Independent horror movies are just almost always better than the studio horror movies.
Yeah.
And this one's no exception to that. Like, it's a really, really good horror movie. Like, and just be patient with it and stay till the end, because everything you're watching all throughout the movie, it's paid off by the end of the movie.
Yeah, and I will say it does take its time pacing itself, but it doesn't feel slow. Like, it didn't feel like it was dragging.
It's entertaining. That's why. And it's suspenseful at the right time.
Yeah.
It keeps your attention. Oh, and I want to mention Millie Shapiro, the little girl that plays Charlie.
Oh, okay.
And it was her first movie, and
really?
she was
Oh, I didn't know that.
And she was really good in the movie.
Yeah.
Like, Millie Shapiro. All of that, I didn't really think anybody did any bad acting in the movie. Like, Toni Collette was obviously
Toni Collette was good.
Obviously, like the standout. Like,
especially when she found out that she had died. Like, just the whole emotion. Like, she was really like yelling, screaming.
Yeah, because the
collapsed on the floor.
Like it was just like, wow.
Yeah, because she did such a good job selling that point of, like, she's crazy. You gotta try this, you gotta, we gotta do the seance thing, and she sounds like a rambling mad person,
She sounded like she said her family had all these mental illness, like she might have had that, and that's where I was like, Maybe this is what it's about, Hereditary, you know?
Yeah.
And genetics. But no, it wasn't that. You know?
Yeah.
Even the title of the movie is a mislead, somewhat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, overall, I think the movie... I give it a solid A.
Yeah. It should be more inherited than hereditary, you know?
Yeah.
To a certain extent.
I honestly want to give this movie an A+. Like... Yeah. I think I'm going to say A+. Like... But I really want to see it again. It was like...
I think if we see it again, we're probably gonna like it even more.
It was like when the first time I saw, like I said, the first time I saw Get Out, I immediately wanted to watch the movie again.
I had to watch that one 3 times.
I wanted to see all those little things all throughout the movie, and now you know what's going on after you see the end of the movie. Yeah. And I have the same like feeling about this movie. Like I want to watch it again, like knowing what I know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I give this movie an A to an A+. And who knows what other little tiny nuances are there that we just thought, oh, it's just part of the background, you know. But really, it's, you know, like who knows what else we missed.
They got something good going. I mean, I know you guys might have thought I was just joking about like they should make part 2 and 3. I really do hope they make at least a prequel. That'll be interesting.
But it's just like these art house type movies, like the independent movies. They usually don't tarnish them to try to get money off of it.
Yeah,
you know?
if it was like a studio film,
not because of the money, but just, you know.
Well, no, I'm just
like it's a really good movie. I'm like, this guy needs to make another one.
Because I'm just saying, like most of the time, the reason sequels get cranked out by studios is for money.
Yeah.
Good one.
You know, be kind of cool.
I'm gonna acknowledge that. So it's
that wasn't me.
That was a good one. No, I know it wasn't you.
Damn, Toots.
That wasn't me. No, that was you, Worm Boy.
Yeah, that was not Toots.
Yeah, and actually, what popped in my head right now is like going with the idea of making sequels and whatnot. Imagine if they're having their own little like Marvel universe where they're trying to get all those kings.
All the 8 kings.
Yeah.
Like the Infinity Stones.
Yeah, kind of.
That'd be interesting.
It's a new family.
And then once all the 8 kings finally come together, then they have to get the 8
See, and that was another parallel to the marked ones, because in the marked ones, the I can't remember the main character's name.
Juanito.
They need the midwives, which is the cult of the witches. They're trying to get his body possessed by like a demon, like, and it's like on his 18th birthday or so. I need to watch the movie.
The marked ones.
but
he's one of the marked ones.
Yeah. And we'll kind of be, and we'll kind of do this whole universe thing. Yeah, that fart of yours messed us up. No. No, I was gonna say
the 8 kings can be
it doesn't necessarily have to be like 8, 7, 6, 5, or like it could just be like 8, 5, 1. You know, like at random. It's just you don't know which king or whatever is gonna be in the next one. You know.
And then after that's done, then they're gonna bring out the good side of them.
Yeah, I guess their version of Thanos or whatever is gonna come.
Yeah.
Well, we also should mention that we saw the trailer for the
Freddy the
Suspiria remake.
Oh,
yeah.
Or was it Suspiria or Suspiria?
Suspiria. Yeah, Suspiria.
Suspiria.
I think we should watch the original.
I haven't seen the original, but I heard good things.
Yeah, I think we should watch the original, and then watch this one when it comes out, the remake, and just kind of compare the two.
Yeah, maybe we can do a double feature.
Yeah, and
the new one comes out in the fall.
Mm-hmm. And also the Halloween trailer that.
Oh yeah, I didn't get to see it.
That I think just came out.
I saw it just now, right before you.
I think it just came out today.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And as far as I know, this new Halloween is they're like rebooting the whole series after the original part 2. Like this new one is like taking place in a new universe where all the sequels, like part 3 and all the rest of the sequels after that, never happened. Like this is a sequel.
Fresh?
Like, this is a sequel to Halloween 2 from 1981.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Yeah, and if you see Jamie Lee Curtis, if you see Laurie Strode in this one, it's like she's pulling like a Sarah Connor and like she's toughening herself up and yeah, and I like the cast that's in there. Like Will Patton comes out and I don't know who the other guy is. The one that was
Phil
holding
Wheaton?
the mask. The one that, like, I don't know if that was Donald Logue or somebody.
Danny Glover, no?
Well, I looked it up on IMDb. I didn't see Donald Logue.
Okay, because I was trying to recognize who that guy was, and I didn't know if it was like Donald Logue. I didn't know if it was what's his name? I think it's Donald Gleason from The Force Awakens.
Jackie Gleason
from the Star Wars movies.
Well, what I didn't know is when you mentioned that Nick Castle was gonna like reprise the Shape. Nick Castle.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Punisher?
No.
Oh
no.
Frank Castle.
The guy that played the Shape in the original 1978.
Yeah, the original Michael Myers
Halloween.
in the very first one. He was known as the Shape. Yeah.
Oh.
He's gonna come back as
I don't know anything about this.
He's gonna come back as Michael Myers in this 2018 adaptation.
Yeah, he's gonna reprise the role.
But isn't he old now?
Yeah.
Yeah. And John Carpenter's gonna do the music.
I wonder if.
That's cool.
But you can't have a Halloween movie without John Carpenter's music.
But he's actually gonna like
compose music. He's gonna compose.
It sounds
new
the same.
Music. Well, the theme song,
just like techno now.
Well, I guess I mean the classic theme song.
Yeah,
like you can't have a Halloween movie without that
you can't.
Song.
You have to have that in there.
Yeah, but my impression was that he's actually gonna make the music for this. You know,
like he's gonna compose
additional than the actual theme, right?
I'll double check on that, but that was my understanding that he was gonna do the music.
Oh man, I wish he would have directed it. He was gonna direct it for a while. He was like throwing the idea around, but he decided not to direct it. That would have been so cool. But no.
Maybe he's just too tired now, or maybe it's too much for him.
Well, maybe he doesn't want to take the risk. Like, I made a classic, and then imagine this one.
Yeah,
they're like, oh, he's not as good anymore.
I mean, it's John Carpenter.
Right? That's true.
It's John Carpenter. I respect.
It's another Ghost of Mars. Yeah.
That's a good movie. For me to poop on.
Yeah.
Well, I respect his decision. I mean, it's John Carpenter, but
yeah.
I'm sure he had a good reason to not want to direct a new one. But
yeah, I'm sure.
And then we saw the first Purge trailer again. I've already seen that trailer.
That was good. Looks good.
Did they show that one before I got?
They must have.
Oh, okay. I thought you were already there.
But I'd have already seen that trailer a bunch of times.
I haven't seen the Purge movies, but I think we need to review one.
Yeah, because I think
whichever one's the best one.
Because I think by the time
or you don't want to review those.
Oh yeah, I mean we can review those.
Because I remember when I walked into the theater, I think they were about to show that Replicas trailer.
Oh, it was before
that. The Keanu Reeves.
That's a good movie.
No,
and then it was Suspiria. And
no, it's because like anybody like you guys know like I'm like salivating for Bill and Ted Face the Music, and I know that's the word that I'm gonna use because I'm like fuck like, and I know Keanu Reeves is not a great actor, but I like.
What do you mean?
I like his movies. Like I know like it's like. It's like the general consensus. Like he's the worst. Like he's the best worst actor ever. Like,
I mean he's bad, but I don't think he's the worst. Nicolas Cage is pretty bad.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why people call him the best worst actor in Hollywood.
I wouldn't say he's bad per se. It really just depends on the material that he gets.
Yeah. Because
if you compare Bill and Ted or John Wick versus fucking Bram Stoker's Dracula, then it's like okay.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Keanu Reeves, but he did not belong in Francis Ford Coppola's version of Dracula. But when they showed that Replicas trailer, the first time they revealed Keanu Reeves, my wife like nudged me and she's like, "Oh God." And I was like, "Hey, Keanu Reeves is cool, man."
Yeah, because I think I started walking in when they were showing that, or the Sorry to Bother You trailer. It was
that one's. Well, I'm sorry, but I didn't like that trailer. Sorry to Bother You was just a waste of.
That one looked so stupid. I actually do want to check it out.
That seems like one of those satirical movies.
Yeah, it does.
I'm wondering if
David Cross comes out.
Yeah.
No, because that Tessa Thompson came out in this one.
Mm-hmm.
In that, what's it called?
Well, she comes out in Ragnarok,
the
right?
trailer that we just saw. You just said it right now.
Sorry to bother you.
Sorry to bother you. Because Tessa Thompson also came out in that movie Dear White People.
Oh, okay. But isn't she the Valkyrie in Thor Ragnarok?
Yeah. No. But the reason I want to look on IMDb if this Sorry to Bother You movie is directed by the same person that directed Dear White People, because Tessa Thompson's in both of those movies. Because this one seems like another one of those like
satirical.
Like it's making a comment or a statement about like society.
Yeah.
Like if you've ever seen Dear White People, like
I haven't seen it.
But I guess for me, I don't like that type of movie.
I don't know. To me,
it didn't seem interesting. Like, it just seemed like they're trying too hard.
I don't know. To me, it didn't bother me. Like I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll check it out, or maybe I'll check it out at the Dollar Theater or something like that.
But yeah, maybe we can review, since the Purge movie's coming out on July 4th. We can review the other Purge movies prior to that one.
Yeah. I need to see at least the first one.
Yeah, because I've only seen bits and pieces of the first one, and I haven't seen any of the other ones.
But they're just not. They're not like the best movies in the world. Like.
Oh no! Like I get
fine.
that.
I mean, we reviewed Teen Wolf. I'm sure they're better than Teen Wolf.
and I reviewed Teen Wolf 2.
Yeah,
Teen Wolf 2 forever.
Fucking Leprechaun.
Yeah.
Leprechaun's fun.
Yeah, Leprechaun's shit.
That's a fun movie. No, I'm saying like
it's a fun movie to make fun of.
If like Leprechaun, Teen Wolf 2.
And don't mention that other one too.
Oh, okay. I won't mention it here.
The Happening, the Nicolas Cage Wicker Man. Like those movies are fun to watch in a
How to
group.
Get burned. Yeah.
Those movies are fun to watch in a group and then just roast the hell out of them.
Yeah,
like,
but
Rastafari.
Well, we tried that with Teen Wolf 2, and everybody was just ready to. Like,
I was into it, man. Like
everyone was ready to hang us.
No, you guys liked it, but I was just like,
no, it's not a good movie. I did not like it.
No, you were enjoying it, like making fun of it, but I was just like, I can't do this. Not even make fun of it. It's not worth making fun of. That's how bad I saw it.
The only redeeming quality from that movie was just the pop songs that they used from the 80s. That's it.
And Chubbs.
Chubbs was cool.
Oh,
but I was
Mark Holton.
Mark Holton.
Remember we were trying to remember his name?
Yeah, Mark Holton.
That's because they didn't recast him. They recast Mark Holton.
Like Culture.
No, they didn't recast Mark Holton.
Mark Wahlberg?
He was still the same.
Marky Mark.
He's still the same Chubbs. His Styles that they recast.
Like I'm saying, like
AJ Styles?
No.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Maybe the movie would have had a chance if they would have had like Jerry Levine back as Styles. And, But I don't. Anyway, off topic.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on
That's the new. Never mind. I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you after the podcast.
Movie. Yeah, the movie that shall not be named.
Teen Wolf is slowly becoming the
new blank.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. We're gonna do a show without mentioning.
Yeah.
But even talking about it like this, we're kind of inferring what it is.
But we're not gonna say it.
All right.
Yeah, and if you guys can guess what it is, we're not gonna give you anything. But if we had stuff to give out,
I was gonna say you'll get $1 million from Worm Boy.
$1 million in
Don't say
Monopoly
that.
money.
No, I'm kidding.
Don't say that, because as soon as we post this podcast, Supermodel Music Man's gonna comment and he's gonna get it, and then Romber's gonna have to send him.
I don't have $1 million.
He's gonna have to send him $1 million.
Yeah. Well, I'm kidding.
Maybe we can send them something.
We're not gonna send any money.
Some of our finest coffee. The monkey's butt coffee.
Freeze dried Taster's Choice.
Donkey butt coffee, man.
And then
Taster's Choice.
And then I'll say it again. Hey, it's our fan.
Yeah.
Hey, but it feels good. I mean,
and now we owe him $1 million.
Yeah. Specifically Worm Boy. Yeah. Thank you, Toots.
I said I was kidding.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
I'm taking it back.
Yeah, take that shit back.
So anyway, that was our review. Spoiler review, by the way.
Yeah, go watch them.
Spoiler
review
of Hereditary. It's a very good movie. We all three collectively highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Very good independent horror movie. starring Toni Collette.
And Gabriel Byrne.
Yeah.
And the Iceman. Chuck Liddell.
So oh my god, you need sleep.
Yes, I do.
So we're the dudes of horror. Damien.
Wormboy.
And Toots.
Signing off.
See you later, guys.
Later.
See ya.
Oh.